All right, so what is shaken over at JOANN? And now they filed bankruptcy. They first announced plans to do this about a little over 4 months ago in March of 2024. Since then, there's been lots of shakeup within the leadership team. So we saw people coming and going. They're bringing in some management consultant types to lead the helm. The interim CFO is from a corporate consulting firm. And the latest is that the CFO, Scott Sekula, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. I believe he was also before this other guy came in, Michael Prendergast. He was the co-interim CEO. So again, interim means kind of not temporary. So Scott was at the helm for a while after the previous CEO, Wade Miquelon, exited last year. So let's take a look at the latest, because this is wild. This is just wild. So Scott Sekula is out. So he's out amid a leadership revamp. So it seems like they're trying to make a lot of changes within the team, with the executives, the board of directors. There's been all sorts of, turnover. I've been reporting on this for several months. So if you want to check out some of the previous shows or videos, you can sort of get caught up with the whole nitty gritty, but it's just nuts. For the amount of change this company has gone through within the last year it's high. There's a lot going on. So it says the crafts retailer, this is from Retail Dive. Oh, and by the way, all of the links to anything I'm referencing are down below in the description box if you'd like to check them out for yourself. The crafts retailer, fresh out of bankruptcy, has brought on new executives in tech, operations, and merchandising. All right, so let's see what's shaking here. JOANN Chief Financial Officer Scott Sekula, who oversaw the company's recent restructuring and bankruptcy, has left. Jeff Dwyer, Managing Director at Alvarez & Marshall, will be interim CFO until a replacement is found. So Alvarez & Marshall is some sort of retail consulting firm. That's also where JOANN got the interim CEO, Michael Prendergast. So it does seem like they are grabbing people from that company to help with JOANN leadership. The crafts retailer also announced a slate of new executives. John Stelkop was promoted to Executive Vice President, Chief Digital Officer, while Roger Hawkins was promoted to Senior Vice President, Store Operations. I know, there's a lot. Peter Meyer, most recently Arhaus Senior Vice President of Merchandise Planning and Allocation, and before that a JOANN executive in Business Development Strategy, returns to JOANN as a VP of Merchandise Planning and Allocation. Boy, do they need help in that direction. Finally, former Michaels General Merchandise Manager Eileen Miller will oversee the Craft Kids storage and frames business as Vice President and GMM. Wow. And that's not even it. We're going to get to more. There is more. Yes. JOANN struggled for years before this year's bankruptcy, emerging in late April as a private company after reducing its $1.1 billion in long-term debt by about half. All the while, since filing for bankruptcy in March, the retailer has managed to keep its more than 800 stores open. Last year, Sekula had envisioned a return to growth via efficiencies, including cutting labor costs. Yeah, that's really working out. But the retailer ended up restructuring under Chapter 11. Per federal regulations, a $400,000 retention bonus he was awarded the day before the bankruptcy filing must be repaid because he left the position within 6 months. So he's got to give back $400,000. $400,000. That's a lot of money for most of us. Just last month, as JOANN announced a new interim CEO, another Alvarez & Marshall managing director, Michael Prendergast, the company had affirmed that Sekula would be staying on as CFO. So what happened? What happened with him? Because it sounded like he wasn't really planning on leaving the company, and he took that $400K bonus. Until Prendergast's appointment, Sekula had spent about a year as a co-lead of JOANN's Office of CEO, including through the Chapter 11 proceedings, in addition to his CFO duties. Sekula is pursuing other opportunities, and his exit is not related to disagreements with JOANN over financial statements or accounting policies or practices, the company said. Now, do you believe that? I don't know what to believe at this point. Also, why would a guy leave? Like, if he had stayed for another 2 months, he would have gotten to keep that $400,000. Is that just not that big of a deal to him? Or what's he do? Like, what is going on? Because 2 months, like, I would, if you told me, like, I quit my job at CNN. If you told me that if I stayed at my job another 2 months, I would get $400,000, I would probably stick it out the 2 months. Like, let's be real. Let's be real here. I would stick it out the extra 2 months. So would you stay? Actually, we should do a poll right now. All right, we're going to do a poll on YouTube here and ask you if you would stay at your job. Like, if you, all right, let's say, if you are planning to quit your job, would you stay an extra 2 months for $400,000? All right, let's do a poll here. Okay. Would you stay an extra, let's see, extra 2 months at a job you were planning, let's see, sorry, this is not working, planning to quit, let's see, for the guarantee of $400,000. I mean, unless he's like uber rich or maybe got a better opportunity, I don't know why. Like, I don't know why you wouldn't stick it out unless something else is going on. So I'm not exactly sure okay, would you stay an extra 2 months at a job you're planning to quit for the guarantee of $400,000? All right, let's take a poll here. We're going to poll the chat and see what you think. Would you stay at your job for a job yet? Let's say you hate the job and you're planning to quit, but they told you if you stick it out 2 more months, you'll get $400,000. I don't know that many people that would turn that down, unless maybe his new job is that lucrative and he got some sort of like crazy deal there. That's the only thing that would make sense if it's not something else that Joanne's really isn't saying. So I don't know. All right, let's go back to the story here. All right, so it says, yeah, he says he's pursuing other opportunities and his exit is not related to disagreements with Joanne over, that's a very specific thing to point out, over financial statements or accounting policies or practices. Like, why would you specifically point out those things? I don't know. We're very excited to share these promotions and additions to the Joanne management team and look forward to working with them to drive towards future success, Prendergast said in a statement Monday, adding, last but not least, I'd like to thank Scott for all of his hard work and efforts. Now, yeah, I don't know, like, what happened with this guy? What happened? All right, so here's another article specifically about how he's got to pay back this bonus now. So it says, Joanne CFO resigns, must pay back $400,000 retention bonus. After speaking highly of the retailer's potential post-bankruptcy earlier this year, CFO Scott Sekula is leaving the company, forfeiting his retention bonus. I also want to know, does Scott think this is like a sinking ship and there's no hope? Like I kind of want to know what happened with Scott and why he's leaving. All right, so it says Scott Sekula, who took a major role in turning around craft supplies retailer Joann's business operations after Chapter 11 bankruptcy filing in March, is leaving the company. So yeah, it says he received a $400,000 retention bonus after the filing, and now, as per federal law, he must repay the bonus due to his voluntary resignation within 6 months of a bankruptcy filing. Yeah, all right, so this has some of the same information. Oh, this is interesting too. So Jeff Dwyer, the other guy they pulled in from Alvarez and Marshall, who's going to be the interim CEO, it says, it appears Dwyer and Prendergast had a professional relationship before he joined. Because, yeah, they worked at the same company, Alvarez and Marshall. Yeah, this says his resignation was voluntary. Yeah, I don't know. All right, so it says the CFO position at Joanne was Sekula's first, and he also held the title of co-lead of the interim office of the CEO after the May 2023 retirement of former CEO Wade Miquelon up until Prendergast's arrival. Before Joanne, he was vice president of FP&A at Under Armour and global corporate controller at Crocs. Already worked at Crocs. All right, so it says, according to the company, he will be pursuing other opportunities. However, there is no word on where Sekula's next role will be. Yeah, I don't know. All right, so this is another article from CFO Dive. And this is from back when he got the bonus. So it says, Joanne approves $400,000 CFO retention bonus amid bankruptcy speculation. So this was back right before they announced the bankruptcy filing. And this is, he got $400,000. So it says it's subject to repayment if he voluntarily terminates his employment or if his employment is terminated for cause. Okay, so interesting. So they had to... So yeah, he says he resigned. I don't know what else is going on. There may be something we don't know. Yeah, interesting. I did not see this coming. Like, and his annual base salary was $425,000. So he was getting like pretty much an extra year of pay if he stayed 6 months. As well as he also got a sign-on bonus of $235,000. So, I mean, maybe he did just find another job that was more lucrative, and maybe they offered them a bonus that was better, or he felt was worth it. I don't know. Kind of nuts, though. Like, what do you think happened to Scott? Where do you think? I'm gonna keep track of where he's going because I'm curious to see where he ends up next. I'm curious. All right, let's take a look at the poll and see where you guys are at with that. All right, so 92% of you say you would stay an extra 2 months at a job you are planning to quit for the guarantee of $400,000. All right, to the 8% of you, why? Why no? I mean, yeah, $400,000, that's a lot. That's like 10 years of working for me, for real. That's a lot of money. That is a lot of money. So I don't know. But this is kind of crazy. And there's even more changes. So, okay. Oh, and all right, let me show you this. So this is the official Joanne press release with the official announcement. So it says, he's exited and is pursuing other opportunities. Blah, blah, blah. Thank him for his hard work. Here's the other changes. Yeah, Peter Meyer. Yeah, I mean, clearly this guy, Michael Prendergast, is really cleaning house and making some pretty big changes with all of these people. Joanne still does not have, like, they used to have a leadership team page and a board of directors page, and that's still not public. That's still not up. So there may be, I would not be surprised if there were more changes because it seems like the reason those pages are not available is because they're probably still trying to update them. There may be more changes. I would not be the least bit surprised if this is not the last switch up or shuffling of the management team. Yeah, it's all crazy. And they also released another announcement a few days later. So they got another guy to be the executive chairman of the board of directors. So this is yet another change, and this came a few days later. So it says, Joanne announces industry veteran as executive chairman of the board. All right, so it says they have announced industry veteran Stan Rosenzweig as executive chairman of the board effective August 5th, so he starts tomorrow, 2024. Mr. Rosenzweig, whose family has been involved in the sewing industry. Okay, so at least this is someone with a lot of experience in the sewing industry specifically. 4 generations, has more than 30 years of experience leading, managing, and investing in numerous consumer-related businesses. Most recently, Mr. Rosenzweig held the position of executive chairman of the board of SVP Worldwide, the parent company of Singer, Pfaff, Husqvarna, and Viking sewing machines. So maybe this guy can help because at least this is somebody with extensive experience and generational knowledge of the sewing industry specifically. This is interesting to me. This is very interesting. I am both honored and extremely excited to join the Joanne board as executive chairman. Yeah, all right, blah, blah, blah. All right. Anything more interesting in here? Okay. All right, his deep experience and knowledge of the industry and our customers, along with his passion and dynamic leadership style, will be invaluable as the company continues to build toward the future. Okay. Okay, so the other board members include Mary Campbell, Joe Hartzig, Michelle Israel. I believe she was the one from Macy's, and Bill Wall. One of the guys was from legal. One of the guys had a lot of legal experience. Daryl Horn, who was, this is interesting. So Daryl Horn is gone. Okay. Daryl Horn, who was appointed interim chairman, has resigned from the board effective August 5th. Let me look up Daryl because I forgot what his experience was. Oh, he was the one with like a consulting firm, I believe. Let's see here. Okay, yeah, Daryl Horn. Daryl Horn was like a business consultant or something. Okay. Because there was another guy who was more of a lawyer, I think. Or was he the lawyer? I don't remember. Okay, there was Bill Wall, who's like the capital guy. Daryl was also kind of the capital guy as well. I forgot who. There was one that was an attorney too, but I can't remember which one it was. So, all right. So Stan is a seasoned manager, investor, and entrepreneur with deep experience in retail services and product management. He's been an executive leader for a number of national brands and companies, including more than 5 years as president of Europro Shark Ninja and 10 years as a COO of the Holmes rival companies. So lots of like home goods. He has also held leading roles at Island Energy Services, Tops Barbecue, Cupixel, Clone Lab, and Polar Products. And then he served as 5 years as executive chairman of the board of SVP. All right, he went to Harvard College. Okay, so a guy who has a good background, good education. He has an MBA from Harvard Business School. He's, obviously that's a very prestigious school. And he has a lot of experience with different types of retail companies. So what do you guys think? Do you think Stan might be able to help Joanne? Do you think that's I actually do think that this Stan person seems like he might actually have the right kind of experience. Let me look him up. Let's see if we can get a picture or something. Because the other guy looked like he was retired. Yeah, there were a few different Stans. So this appears to be the Stan from SVP. All right, so this person has experience in the industry, lots of different companies, went to Harvard, has a Harvard MBA. So, yeah, who knows? Maybe, I don't know what his plans would be, but he is the new executive chairman of the Joanne board. Post-bankruptcy, we'll see what he can do. Let's give him a shot. Yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think of Stan? Does he look promising? I don't know. So we'll see what can happen. But there's been a lot of shuffling this week, and I was like, what is going on with all of these people coming and going? They got people moving around. They're promoting people. So does anyone have any theories on what they're trying to do or what the goal is with all of this? I don't know. So that's the latest with the Joanne corporate shuffle within the C-suite and the board of directors. So, all right, we're going to go to the comments and see what you think. And also, let's take a look at the poll. All right, so at this point, 91% of you say you would stay an extra 2 months at a job you are planning to quit for the guarantee of $400,000. Really, only 91% of you? All right, to the 9% who said no, why not? I'm just curious.